Welcome to Crypto Beer O'Clock, the show where we talk about crypto and beer. Ralf, welcome to Crypto Beer O'Clock, our first episode. What beer have you chosen for us today?
Well, I thought for the first episode, I'd bring something from close to our hometown. I couldn't quite find the beer that we normally drink in our hometown. It's Bitburger. We call it Bitburger in Germany. You probably call it Bitburger. And it's maybe 200 kilometers away from where I come from in the Rhineland, from a town called Bitburg. It's a nice, easy to drink beer, crisp. I really like it. We drink it a lot where I come from.
And would you say it's a summer beer or a winter beer, or it doesn't matter?
Well, we drink it any time of year, but I think it's more like a summer beer.
Okay, great. Well, let's open it up. And...
All right.
Okay, cheers. Nice, very refreshing.
Yeah, I like it.
Good.
It's exactly what I need right now.
Now on to the crypto part of our show. Have you heard about the My Ether wallet hack recently?
Yeah, I heard about it. It just happened today or yesterday, was it? I heard about the fact that they stole $150,000.
Yeah,
right,
$150,000 was reported on CoinDesk that people were noticing that the URL didn't have a secure symbol.
Yeah, I think what happened, apparently there were some problems with the DNS server, and somebody redirected the domain name to a different kind of IP address kind of thing. That's what I read. And so they managed to steal the private keys of people who were trying to log into My Ether wallet at that point in time, and steal their coins. And it happened like this. I think they probably automated the whole process. Take it, transfer it. Happen in a few seconds.
So I was reading that article from CoinDesk, and it seemed like they were transferred the $150,000, and then they broke it into smaller chunks and were trying to hop to different wallets.
Right.
But because it's a public ledger, they can keep tracking where the coins are being sent, and eventually those coins will have to go somewhere legit to be cashed out. Do you think?
Yeah, probably, unless they manage to do like a instant coin swap or use some service that doesn't track it, and then go to a privacy coin. And I don't know. There are ways, like with the recent name hack, they also were trying to track it in the beginning, and then they kind of lost track of it eventually.
They lost track?
Yeah, I think they gave up on it. But
okay, that sounds really interesting, because I thought because it was a public ledger, it would always be available.
Well, yeah, when you manage to get it onto one of the privacy coins somehow, I don't know where you
find an atomic swap potentially.
Yeah, potentially even that. Obviously, then if you are in a privacy coin network, then you kind of made it, I would say.
You're home and hosed. Yeah. Okay. So with safety precautions, what kind of safety precautions do you think one should take?
Well, in that article that you mentioned, and I had a brief look at it as well, they suggested using MetaMask. I haven't used MetaMask personally, but I think it runs in your browser as an add-on, and it makes sure that your private key is never really exposed, so it kind of signs the transaction inside the running session of the browser, but it doesn't actually give it to the website that you're accessing. So that seemed pretty good. And obviously, I guess even better is a hardware wallet like using Trezor or Ledger or something like that.
Yeah, so that just keeps it at arm's length from the hackers.
Yep.
Okay, so everyone at home, take security very seriously, because you don't want your coin stolen.
You don't.
It's good to see that the market in general is starting to rouse a bit.
Yeah, it is good to see, actually.
Yeah, and it seems across the board.
Yeah. I think when Bitcoin starts rising, it pulls everything up.
Yeah. But I'm looking at my altcoins, and they seem to be rising more than Bitcoin.
Well, I guess because they also lost more than Bitcoin for a start. Like, I think a lot of the altcoins lost like sometimes up to 90% of the value or even more.
Yeah.
And they have to catch up.
Yeah, it was interesting. I thought I'd practice some trading, and I bought some Bitcoin, set a sell at 20% gain, and it sold at 20%, but it kept going up. So it's really hard to pick the top of the market sometimes.
But I think it's still better to do it, like set a target, rather than try to see how far it goes and then get emotional about it and then kind of miss the point. And I think it's better actually to do it that way.
Yeah, I suppose there's a bit of discipline there rather than just going with the emotion or the what if.
Yeah, they're saying if you're trying to trade, you always should set an entry and exit target before you start the trade and then stick to it.
Yeah.
I think that's a good advice.
Yeah. Do you tend to do that?
No.
Yeah, I suppose that's the fun of these buying crypto, is that you got to manage your own emotions and the FOMO and the FOCO and all the fears in there. Yeah. What else have you been up to?
Well, when we last talked, which was probably more than a month ago, we met first at the EOS meetup, at the inaugural Sydney EOS meetup. And since then I looked much further into EOS.
Right.
I think last time I mentioned to you that I was about to look into the GitHub and try to compile the code. So happy to say that I've done that already. So I actually have set up a Blockproducer node in one of the many testnets that are out there.
Yeah.
So that's pretty exciting. It wasn't even too hard to set up, and yeah, so it's really interesting. I learned a lot in the whole process.
Okay, and so what are some of the challenges around setting up the Blockproducer software?
Yeah, so first of all, you need to have an instance to run it on. Like, it didn't properly load on my laptop. I just thought at first I'd try it on my laptop. And that didn't work because of dependency problems and conflicts and stuff. So I thought, okay, I spin up a clean, new Ubuntu instance up on Amazon. Yeah. So I created an EC2 instance, which isn't hard. And then you need to check out GitHub repository and compile it. And then there were some dependency problems that I think now fixed. So there were some manual stuff that I had to install, like the boost libraries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how much time is this taking you?
Well, I still have a full-time day job, so I kind of do that as a hobby outside. And so it has taken me a couple of hours a night, maybe two or three nights. So maybe in total less than a day in terms of business day.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe 5-6 hours it took me to set it all up, get it running, and then a little bit longer to then connect with some of the people that are running a testnet. So I joined a lot of the Telegram groups for EOS, like there's thousands of them, and tried to connect to the people, and they redirected me to their GitHub repositories and their config files, and every testnet has their own configuration and things like that. So that took me maybe another couple of hours. But yeah, it wasn't actually too hard, I would say. Yeah, there were some challenges, but...
Okay, that's good. And what did you think of the community? Did you find them helpful?
Yeah, they are very helpful. I mean, in the end, Blockproducers will probably end up being quite competitive because they all want to be in the top 21. But because the network isn't started yet, everybody's really helping each other out. And I think to a certain degree, that'll probably stay like that. Like, I think EOS community is generally quite a helpful community, very open, lots of discussion and help. And the 21 block producers, eventually they also need to kind of work together in some way at least, because obviously they are holding up the network.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean that they are colluding, hopefully. No. But they do definitely need to work together to keep everything going.
Okay. And with the actual test software itself, are you finding many bugs, or what problems are you encountering?
There are a couple of bugs that were also reported now to Block 1, which they're working on. But a lot of it is just configuration issues, and really a lot of, like, the whole bootstrapping process is not defined by Block 1, so the community is trying to set it up for themselves and figuring it out on the way, and there's lots of hiccups and things to fix.
So I hear the term bootstrap a lot. What does it bootstrapping mean in this case?
Yeah, there's quite a lot of stuff involved. Obviously, we don't have a running EOS network yet. It's currently EOS tokens, if you have any, would be part of the Ethereum blockchain. So what will happen on day 1, or well, the 2nd of June to be more exact, is that there will be a snapshot done on the Ethereum network to check who has how many balances of the EOS tokens. And then that will be used to generate a file that will then be kind of imported. It will be the kind of the genesis, the start of the network for EOS, so that the same token balances will be transferred pretty much to the newly started network. Then there will be just one node appointed to do that whole process, and that will be a random selection. So currently everyone is practicing for that.
Yeah.
So all the block producers who are serious about it, they are practicing their bootstrapping processes if in case they are chosen as the node to start the whole network. And then when the first node has set everything up with the private keys and this and that, then the other selected, I think first, block producers will confirm that everything has been done correctly. And when they think it hasn't, then they'll destroy the network and everything starts again from scratch.
Wow.
If they're happy with it, then eventually the voting will start, and the initial 21 block producers will actually not be in the first round of voting. So that gives some of the other block producers a chance to be voted in. But then after, I don't know how many rounds of voting, I think not too long, the initial block producers can start being voted back into the 21 block producers, into the elected round of block producers.
Okay, sounds fascinating.
Yeah, there's a lot. That was just a really very shortcut. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of discussion, a lot of things that are not 100% clear yet. It's not going on.
I'd love to talk more when you learn more and get more information on this, on your dabbling.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So, Bitburger.
Yeah.
How many Bitcoins out of 5 would you rate this?
Well, since I've chosen it and it comes from Germany and very close to my hometown, I'm giving it 5.
5 out of 5.
5 out of 5.
Okay, I'd say it's pretty good. I'm a hard mark. I'd give it 4. I'll give it a 4.
Okay, fair enough.
Cheers.
Cheers.